is up? Hey, it's me again. I tried a bunch of videos. I'm just not liking them. It's kind of annoying because I just don't like how they turn out. But what I want to talk about today is it's going to be a two-parter. First one's going to be about stupid people and driving. Had to go out to a camp today, and there's this little gray Ford Escort looking thing, and it was just putting along, and I finally got to get by the driver, and she's just looking around, just doing this number. She's not even paying attention to what's in front of her. She's just looking around, checking out the sights. She had Maine tags on, so, I mean, she couldn't have been unfamiliar with Maine, especially in that area where I was. She's just cruising around, just... Come on, people, it's girl brain. Let's figure this out. When you're driving down the road, yes, you occasionally look to your left, you occasionally look to your right, and then you pay attention to what's in front of you. Because if somebody decides to stop really hard, oh, guess what? Boom! Yeah, you just hit somebody because you're being a freaking idiot. But, besides the point. Next thing I want to talk about today is opportunities that I have. It's more like a question that I have for all the YouTube truckers out there. I have right now two choices. And this is all based on where they run, who they run to, and home time availability. I've narrowed it down to two companies. Werner Enterprises, Western Express. Those are the two I've narrowed it down to. Now, on the yttruckersreport.com, there's so much negative stuff out there on both of these companies. A lot more negative stuff on Western Express than there is Werner. And both companies, because I have a little bit of experience, have offered me basically compressed training. Instead of going out for the full training period, it would be a shortened, depending how I did, I'm confident in my ability to drive. I know I can drive. My weakness would be... it would have to be backing. I mean, I haven't done it in so long that I know the idea of it. Left goes right, right goes left, but... I know the concept of it, and I understand the concept of it. However, when when I did it last time, I don't know, about a month or maybe 2 months ago, when I had a road test for a company, I actually did get it in the hole that he asked me to put it in. It just took me a lot longer than what he wanted me to do it in. It took me a while because I had to... One, it was a 36-foot trailer. It's a short trailer, so as soon as that tractor started pushing, the trailer reacted, versus a 53 where it takes, there's a small delay when the trailer actually starts to move because of the overswing. But, yeah, so it took me a few minutes to get it in there, and I got it in there, but he didn't like that, so I didn't get the job. It was kind of disappointing because I actually drove really well. He had me take a bunch of rights and a bunch of lefts and stuff. I actually drove really well, and he even said that I drove really well, but when it came to backing, he even said, too, when I did my backing, that, geez, if I get hired, give him a day, and he'd be able to have me put that thing in anywhere he wanted, because, it just takes practice. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now is those two companies, and I would really appreciate your guys' advice out there. I respect you guys. I have a lot of respect for what you guys do, and I would really appreciate some advice on either company, regardless, good or bad. I understand now that I have to get a year to 6 months into a company before I can be considered for a lot of these local companies out here in Maine. And it's, you know what, that's okay. I'm more than prepared to do that. The first two times I did OTR, life intervened into my career. My first time, my 2-week-old child got very, very sick. We almost lost him. The second time, I did lose a child, you know. And so I hung it up and said I'd work local. And now we're at the point where my wife's like, yeah, you know what, there's just no way around it now. Because no local company wants me right now because I don't have enough experience. Although I could show them that I have the ability to drive, but I won't even get callbacks for interviews because these people want 1 to 2 years of experience. And I can clearly show them that I have the ability to drive these trucks. But they don't want to put me in the seat because I just don't have the experience, even though experience is a relative term. You could be a 30-year truck driver and suck at driving, quite honestly. And that's how I'll put it. You could be a truck driver who's got 30 years of experience and suck at it. And it's the same thing with any job. And I'm not singling out any truck driver in particular. I'm just saying experience is a relative term. Because you have people out there that from day one, or, after a week or two of driving, they got it. There's nothing you can show them. There's nothing else you can teach them. And some of these training programs are just so ridiculously long that, no wonder why people just quit after, so many weeks of being in training, because they're making a training wage and they could be making more because now they're at the point where they've done all the backing, they've done the shifting, they've done the Qualcomm, they've done the shipper and receiver paperwork, they've done the bills, and they've done all that stuff, and there's nothing you can show them anymore. And I think that's the thing that needs to be focused on here when it comes to some of these training programs. But, if you have a student, like, take Prime Inc. for example. You go in there with a little bit of experience, Prime Inc., you'll be out for 3 months with a trainer. First phase, you learn everything. The trainer's there with you. Second phase, you're team driving. Alright, I get it. But don't you think after phase 1, that driver, has a pretty good hit? Why not after phase 1 give him an option? Hey, why don't you test out? And if you do well, we'll send you out. And if you don't do well, we'll send you back out for phase 2. Why can't they do that? Like Werner, the way it was explained to me, I don't have to do the full 275 hours. I'll have to do like half of that. But, after 2 or 3 weeks of, or 2 weeks of that, I expect to be ready to test out and say, hey, I think I'm ready to test out. But regardless, hey, if you're a YouTube trucker and you're watching this video, I appreciate some advice, and just let me know if you've worked for Warner or worked for Western Express, to give me an idea what to expect. Thanks, guys.